Hey guys, hi. This is Lalit. I welcome you to first session of Techno Talks with Lalit on TV4 Testers. We have Daniel Knott with us today. Those
guys.
who are into mobile testing field might be knowing him already. Thanks for talking with me, Daniel, today, and I
Thank
welcome
you.
you to our first episode. So ever since I have known about you, I have always found your name associated with mobile testing field. Would you like to share your love for mobile testing? Where did it all start?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. I mean, everything started in 2010
Mm-hmm.
when I had the opportunity to start within the company in the first mobile team.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was working as a web tester, and as I mentioned there was like opportunity. Like one colleague was leaving the company, and I had the chance to step in and to start building up the mobile testing environment from scratch together with a colleague. And we had, it was quite challenging at that time because there were not that many testing frameworks out there from a test automation perspective. And still everyone was new to mobile, so we had to set up some processes, how we want to develop, how we want to release a feature and stuff like that. And this was quite interesting and fun because we were evaluating many test automation tools at that time. There were many tools out there that were not mature enough to use them in a production environment.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time we decided to go for Robotium for Android within Jenkins environment. And the same goes for Keep It Functional for iOS. And we built everything from scratch basically. Wrote our testing framework, add the test methods on top. And But this was not everything because we had to also to set up the release process, for example, how often we want to go live with the features with that, how do we do the release handling, what happens after the release, for example, and all this kind of stuff. That was quite challenging at that time. And this was the step when I stepped into mobile testing, and during that, like since then, I love to work in that field, and also love to share the knowledge I gained during that time, because mobile is still new for many people out there, and they can learn from that stuff.
Okay. But with all these new things coming in mobile field, with right from the apps to different types of interactions that are happening between mobile devices and other things, different mobile platforms and other things, I feel it is becoming more challenging for people to do effective mobile testing. What do you think about these challenges and how testers can address them?
Yeah, I mean, there are many challenges out there. I mean, one of the most big challenge out there, I think everyone knows, is this fragmentation thingy.
Yes.
That is going on, especially in Android. We have more than 24,000 different Android devices on the market, but we don't need to test all of them. I mean, that's one big challenge, so device fragmentation. You can handle it in an easy way, I would say, like if you know your target customers and you know what kind of devices those users are using, it's easy to come up with a so-called device grading group. So we have like a group is ABC, like A has the highest priority. The top used devices in our target customer group are in the group A. We test every feature completely on that target group. Then group B is like also important for the features, but the devices in that group have an older software version installed, older hardware, to see if the feature is still working on less powerful devices. And then type C is more like, okay, let's cover the rest of it, and that's, if we have enough time, we can also test on that devices there. This is one big challenge. The other big challenge I see currently is the movement of users. So it's different than web and desktop applications. Users are always on the move while using the mobile device. They're not always sitting in the office environment having a good, strong Wi-Fi connection. No, they're also like on LTE, on 3G, even on Edge, we don't know. In some cases, they're also on plane mode if they're traveling, for example. So this is also a challenging task that needs to be covered during the testing activities. So mobile testers need to go out of the office and need to test in the wild. I mean, this is really important and challenging. And then, of course, the different feature that can be implemented on a mobile device, like not from a software perspective, but also from a hardware perspective. Like there are so many sensors built in those devices that app developers can make use of it, and needs to be covered too.
Sure. So what are those specific skills that you think would make a mobile tester more effective?
I mean, there are the typical ones that every software tester should have, like curiosity, like asking the right questions at the right point, like to be into new fields, I would say, like to do that and to try things out, especially for mobile. There are so many mobile apps out there, different mobile apps. I have like, I don't know how many apps I have installed on my device at home, but like plenty of them. Because I love to try things out, what other developers are doing or other testers are doing, and then I try to learn from that stuff. For example, I have on my private phone, I have the feature turned off, like the automatic app updates off. And then once, like on a daily basis or every 2 days, I go to the App Store, to the Play Store, and I'm checking what is new there. And I see the update messages or the release note of the app developers or app companies. And I try to see I try to find bug descriptions. So for example, if like a company say, okay, we fixed bug XYZ, then I will not update to that version, but I will try to reproduce the bug in order to see what was going on and to learn from that thingy. And this is also quite important for software testers or mobile testers if they want to get new knowledge out of that.
So apart from your own experiments and experience, is there anything that helped you get better in mobile testing? Any books or any blogs or any particular expert that you followed?
I mean, there are many experts out there. I mean, there's Jonathan Cole, for example.
Yes.
I was reading his books, really good one. He created some nice heuristics for mobiles.
I sliced up one, yeah.
Exactly, yes. This is one. And I mean, there are so many software testing experts out there. I was just following them on Twitter or somewhere else, reading their blogs, and I always try to adapt the non-mobile testing stuff to mobile.
Interesting.
To add the value that is important for mobile, and this is the way I try to keep up. I mean, I don't know all the URLs now.
Absolutely.
But I mean, maybe we can post that underneath the video somewhere on the link section.
Sure.
So many blogs I read on a daily basis and try to retweet or to reblog them, and this is the valuable source I follow, and this is really helpful for me. And from time to time, I'm also exchanging with software testers out there, like via Skype, Slack. There are many Slack communities out there.
Yes, there are.
I'm participating, and yeah, that's what I really like about the software testing community. It's really like this sharing and caring community.
Indeed.
And that's great. Yeah.
Cool. You wrote a book on mobile app testing, hands-on mobile app testing last year. So how is it going? How was your experience of writing mobile book?
Yeah, writing a book is not that easy. I would say I was writing like more than 1.5 years on that book. Like on a daily basis, like every day, afternoon, in the evening when I was coming back home from work. I was sitting and writing even also on the weekend, so it was quite challenging time at that time because finding my spare time to writing a book is not easy sometimes.
Sure.
But I think it was worth doing it, and the feedback I get is really great from people reading the book, and also from people when I met people on conference saying, oh yeah, it's nice meeting you in person. I was like, oh, why does he know my name, for example? It feels somehow different to be recognized. So it's a good feeling, and it was valuable and worth writing the book, and yeah.
Cool, then I guess you recently published an e-book on smartwatch app testing as well.
Smartwatch app testing, yes. Yeah, I mean, I was looking for something new. I mean, mobile testing is not new anymore, and I thought, okay, wearables might be, or especially smartwatches might be next issue or next big challenging task for us. So I had the opportunity to rent some mobile watches. I was trying them, playing around with them, using the features, and was like exploring the features on the go. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's worth writing down some blog posts on that. After I wrote the blog post series, I thought, okay, maybe it's a good idea to publish this in a small ebook, and this is what I did, and it's on leanpub.com, and
cool.
People can go there and read it. You can also read my series on my blog. So
interesting. And I remember you and your team did some innovative stuff in Hack Week for Zing. I guess it was around some test harness that you developed. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. In the company I'm currently working on, we have the opportunity to have like every quarter a Hack Week. So during that time we don't have to work.
Okay.
I mean, we have to work, but we have to work. We can work on our own stuff. So I decided with some colleagues to use the Open Smart Phone Test Farm. So it's an open source project.
Open Smart Farm.
Open Smart Phone Test Farm. It's openstf.io. You find it there, and you can download it, and it's really easy to set up. Once it's set up, it's you can plug as many Android devices as you wish to that system, and it's basically creating your own test device farm, your private one. The good thing and the cool thing about it, it's distributed. So we have also co-locations in Barcelona, for example. Developers from there can easily use the real Android device through the web browser, and it's really, really fast, I have to say. First I was a bit, no, not scared, but a bit, how to say.
So how different it is from the simulators or emulators that we typically use for mobile testing?
It's definitely faster than emulators,
Mm-hmm.
the Android emulator definitely, but it's still not the real fit as a real device for sure.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
What we are using it for test automation, like setting up the test
Okay.
automation real devices, and also for debugging purpose. So for
Okay,
example,
okay.
when a developer needs especially a Samsung S4 device,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to go to our renting system, you just can go to the browser or with ADB Connect within his
Right.
Android Studio, connect to the device and
Mhm.
debug. This is great. And also for customer care department, they can easily connect to that system,
And find out the problems.
find out the problems, what
Okay.
customer reported, and this is the whole purpose of it. Yeah,
Wow, that's good. That's quite interesting.
yeah, it's really interesting.
Good.
It's not that nice, it's not supported by iOS, but yeah, let's see if
Oh,
they,
yes.
if they
So
manage to
it's
do
very
that.
good, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. My last question for today.
Mhm.
So for people who are new to software testing, mobile
Mhm.
testing field, and those who are already there, what would be your advice for them if they want to get better and better
Mhm.
in this field?
In this field, yeah. I mean, first of all, reading is really, really important. I mean, there are great resources out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wrote the book. You don't necessarily need to buy it now, but
Mhm.
there's also the book from Jonathan Coe, this
Yes.
Tap into Mobile Testing.
Yes.
It's really good. There are really great blogs out there covering mobile topics.
Mhm.
Just read them, follow people on Twitter, it's
Mhm.
important,
Mm-hmm.
and ask them. I mean, that's the
Yes.
cool thing about Twitter and all the Slack communities out there. Join them and ask the questions. You will always get help from them. This is one valuable source. And then I would say, like, try features. Download apps, use different mobile devices, different mobile platforms. If you have the chance to test, to have like an iOS device or an Android device or even Windows Phone, rent them, borrow them. There's open device labs out there. You can go there, rent them for free, and to try them out and to explore the platforms. And reading is always good. I mean, like reading, hearing,
Yes,
and
of course. Sure.
this is something. Yeah, try to use the stuff. And if you're working in a mobile team already, for sure you should be always up to date on
Mhm.
the latest systems, like what's coming up next, Android N, iOS 10. What are possible features? What are development tools out there?
Mhm.
How can you use those development tools in your environment?
Mhm.
If you're allowed to use them, and so forth and so forth. So
Mhm.
it's always like keeping up track.
Cool. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking with me
Thanks for
today.
having
We
me.
will keep on discussing offline, but
Yeah.
thank you for being on video and making this episode with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you around. Thanks. Have
Thank
a
you.
great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.